Alright, hi guys. So today I thought I'd show you the single best scramble that I've ever had on 3x3. And yes, the 3.91, my official PR single, is not the best scramble I've ever had. It is probably the second best scramble I've ever had. But this one I actually got even before that. I got this in August 2024, so about 3 months before the 3 happened. And it is definitely still the best scramble I've ever had, and I thought I'd show you why. So, full disclosure, I didn't find the best solution on the first try of this scramble. My first attempt was a 6.8, and obviously that's, for this scramble, not very good. It's decent for me at the time, but I knew there was something better. So I shared the scramble in the UKCA Discord server, and then I tried it again, and on my second try, I got a 2.73 with the good solution that I found. I'm not counting its PB, obviously. It would have been my first sub-4 and sub-3 in the same go, which is not even the first time that I've broken 2 second barriers in one solve. My first sub-7 was a 5.98, so it would have been really, really insane if it had happened again, but nevertheless, I'm going to show you the scramble now. I'll put it in the description because, you know, having to edit the scramble in into this video is too much editing for me. So yeah, so here it is. So as you can see, we've got this big block here on green. We have, a couple of solved edges over here. We have another pair here. So you've got a 1 move, 1x2x3. And so there's a few different ways you can look at this scramble. I obviously looked on white first, and I do think this is the best thing to do here. So if we look on white, we obviously got this block and this pair. Then we also have this solved cross edge here, this red one that's 1 move away, and then this orange one that's here. So what I saw in inspection, obviously we're going to want to solve this relative to blue, but if we do so, this is going to get stuck in the slot, and that's generally just going to lead to a worse case. But what I did notice is that if we make this block first, like that, that moves this edge out of the way. So that's probably going to be my first move. And then I saw that's going to affect these 2 pieces. They're going to go around to here. And then when I do that move to solve red, that's going to make this and this corner into a block here with the white on this side and the orange on the top. And so then when I insert this block, which I'm going to want to do after obviously solving red, because if I insert the block first and then do red, this pair is going to come out of the back and it's going to break the block up. So I'm going to make this block, then insert red, and then solve the block relative to each other, and then I'm going to have this other block, this white and orange block up here. And I saw that this F2L edge is not going to get moved throughout all of that. It's going to stay solved. And I know if I insert this block, so I'm going to want to do a U2, obviously, to preserve this pair, which will be down here. And if I do a U2 and just insert it with like wide R moves or L and F moves, then whatever edge is here is going to move up to here, and it's going to change orientation. So for example, this edge, the yellow and green, would come to here, and the yellow would be on front and the green would be on the side. And obviously I don't want to just do that. I don't want to have a solved corner and an unsolved edge. So what I needed to do was move this edge to here, and you can do that with the inverse of that trigger. So if we think about it in wide R moves, to position this edge here would be wide R U wide R prime. And then to then do a U2 and then insert the block would be wide R U prime, wide R prime. And so the other thing I noticed was that solving the first few pieces, I was going to do 3 moves, and the final one of those moves was going to be an L. And the first move of moving this edge down to here is like a wide R, and that's basically going to cancel. It's going to be in one sort of motion. In short, this was a triple X cross that I planned, and it looks like this. So starting with, I think I started from this angle, so starting with red on top and yellow on front. I did F to solve the block, U prime to solve the red cross edge, and then R wide 2 to, move this block and cancel into doing this, and then U wide R prime to set up this edge, and then inserted this block and made the triple X cross with U2, R wide, U prime, R wide prime. And that left me with this. I obviously knew I was going to have only the back right pair unsolved. And from this angle, obviously I can see it's not any of these edges. I saw the white of this corner here, and I knew by process of elimination it had to be this edge, because Although it looks like it could be this edge from this angle, if this edge was the correct one, if it was solved, then this edge would also be yellow facing up because all of the edges are oriented. And I know it's not, and I just kind of had a feeling that this was the correct edge. Also, I guess you could say the only other red edge that's unsolved is the red and yellow one, and we can see that's here, so this must be the F2L edge. So from here, you can split the pair up, cancel into inserting it in the back, and then insert this pair into the front, like that. And now just have a lefty Nicholas with a U2. So all in all, that was 26 moves. It's 25 if you do the Nicholas from the back, because you get it from here, and the AUF, if you notice at the end, was a U2. But if you do it like this, you get no AUF because it's from the U2 angle. I wouldn't have seen that, and doing that feels kind of worse than just a normal Nicholas because you can kind of execute it from home grip, whereas the other one I can't. But yeah, so my first down solve of that scramble was 2.73, so nearly 10 TPS. And yeah, that absolutely is the best scramble I've ever had, and I'm really, really sad that I wasn't able to find that solution on the first try. But either way, like I said, I'm not counting it as PB. And also, it like as much as nice as it would have been to have gotten a 2, which, to be honest, at that point, if it had like a 2.73, that would have been probably very, very close to the UK national best. I don't actually know what the UK national best is. I know there is at least 1 or 2 people that have sub-3s in the UK at home, but I don't know if that would have been it or not. But, as cool as it would have been to have had that accolade and to, again, be able to get a sub-3 before a 3-second solve, I do think it is a bit nicer because that genuinely would have been a completely unbreakable PB for me. Like, I never would have beaten that ever. I do like getting PBs, so like still having the chance to break a PB would have been nice. And also it meant that when I got the 3 in November of that same year, that it was overall PB at the time, and that was part of the amazing hype around that solve. And it still remains my overall PB to this day, the 3.91. I've not had any more sub-4s yet still. Granted, I haven't practiced 3x3 as much as other events, but that still shows you how crazy that solve was, and the fact that this that I with very little difficulty, to be honest, found the solution to this scramble that could have been sub-3 is absolutely wild. And I'm kind of glad it went down this way, like I said. So yeah, I thought this was a fun little thing to share. That's about it for today, and I'll see you tomorrow.